and favor in all his endeavors. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. May you be seated. When I call on the author of this book, Dr. John Gibson Keykpo, to give a welcome remarks, and after the welcome remarks, he will speak on his book.
Good morning. There's a saying in the Bible, where few are gathered, I am in their midst. It is not surprising that I will be welcoming a few of you for being here on time. I know the nature of this program does not require people being on time. But thank you for being here on time, and you are welcome. The book is called, or titled, The Child Who Saw the Liberian Civil War, a Dream That Came to Pass. And I will recognize Mr. and Mrs. Hayes for being here on time. And the child who saw the Liberian Civil War is one of those many social, historic accounts of our country. But the emphasis in the child who saw the Liberian Civil War is to discuss the issue of colorism, tribalism, sectionalism. And the story is narrated by a character called S.J. Wopier. And the way he sees it is narrated, and the readers of The Child Who Saw the Liberian Civil War have choices. You either read the historic account or you follow the life pattern of S.J. Wopier, which is common to all indigenous youth of Liberia. And the historic account is written in the American Psychological Writing style that we call the APA, because that kind of gave you a background of where the information came from. Well, it's a good read. From page 290 up to 376, you have the pictorial information, pictures of the actors, and some of those who contributed to where we are now. But the main purpose of this book is not to make money. The purpose is to bring this kind of information to Liberians so that 50 years from now, AI will erase YouTube, and the information in the book will help you. You put it on your shelf so that your children and your children's children can see what happened in my country. And then the last chapter, which said the way forward, we discussed current issues in Liberia. And I think we mentioned electoral reform, following the pattern of the Electoral College in America. And the reason is simple. When you have a growing population that represents a major voting bloc, well, unfortunately, This black does not analyze anything. So we want to have electoral colleges in all the counties. It's just a suggestion in the book. So there's a lot we can gain from it. And I even mentioned that we should revisit our curriculum in the 60s and early 70s. There's some good stuff there that we can take. So I will stop this far, and then if anybody has a comment to make, a question, then you can go ahead. You want to say? Maybe my wife will want to say something because she was behind me and finished this book.
Well, I just want to ask why you named the book "The Child Who Saw the Civil War" when you were not a child.
Well, the title of the book has to agree with what you want to say. If you see a child who saw the Liberian Civil War, you can't put an older guy there with white beard bending over. It doesn't match. In research, there's something called consistency. So if I'm going to talk about a child, then it should be represented by a child. And this child is not just an ordinary child. The child is carrying a gun. And that represents what they saw during the Civil War. We even have a group called child soldiers. So who can be the best person to represent the story on the back of the book? It has to be a child. It doesn't mean that somebody particular is a child. Any other question? Welcome, Pastor Bobby. You all can spread out. You see, we have to start doing things differently. We said 10 o'clock. And if there have been 2 persons in here, that the people will launch the book at 10 o'clock, and by 11, I will ask my guests for us to vacate the place for another. There's a competition for the usage of this place. Somebody want to ask a question? Hello? Somebody take...
Hello?
You next.
A question, please.
Yeah.
Looking at
What's your name, first of all?
my name is student A. Jeffrey and Small from the Economics Department.
Okay, make it brief.
So what's the importance of this picture that you are trying to convey? What's the importance of it to today's modernization or today's world?
Oh, very good. He wants to know the importance. Is it the title or the pictures in the book? Oh, the importance of the book is for you and your generation to at least see the faces of the players who organized the 14-year Civil War, those who had managed this country to bring us to where we are. You need to see their picture. Pictures speak a volume. All right? So I strongly believe in 3 ways of learning. You either learn by seeing, you learn by doing, and you learn by reading. So I think those who don't want to read the volume, they can look at the picture and say, oh, this is Thomas Wesson from Sano County, who was the vice president for the PRC government. Oh, this is the wonderful Thomas Puyonkwa from Nema that the book was talking about. That gave you a primitive idea that can stick on. Next. Look how good at time.
I'm Abraham Kawa. Yeah, sure. I have like 2
Say that again.
I'm Abraham Kawa. So my first question is, the person that is on the child that is on the book, Is he alive today, present day? Or
That's a
Yeah.
very good question. If he's alive today, he won't be a child anymore.
yeah.
Because if you ask me what I know that child, I'll tell you no. That picture was taken from YouTube, which is a general platform. If you want to do detailed research and you want certain information, you go to YouTube. All right? So that picture suits the topic.
Okay.
Therefore, it was reflected.
Again, sir, is the book non-fiction or fiction? Which one, sir?
Say that again.
Is it a non-fiction or fiction, sir?
It's a historic book. I said it's a social historic narrative of Liberia. It's not a non-fiction.
Doc, congratulations for the book. I'm Joseph Charlie from the Information Ministry. I'm the editor of the government-run New Liberia newspaper.
Good. You'll bring us some water now. My throat is dry already.
Doc, I have few concerns. Some of us all were here and went through the war.
Uh-huh.
And we got to know that the country was fragmented. You have various factions, controlling different areas.
Uh-huh.
So my own concern is the background, your narrative. Were you fortunate to be, in those areas controlled by those different factions to have gotten the actual facts? Or as you say, you went on YouTube, and other, were there any narrative from people that were affected? Were you fortunate to visit the different areas that were developed?
All right. That's a very good question. And that question, you want for me? That kind of question goes down to what I am trying to avoid personally. Because I'm a survivor of what went on in Monrovia here. I'm from Nima, Tapeta. I was 2 hours away from being beheaded. And the only crime was because I'm a Gil guy from Tapeta, Nima County. I didn't want to go into detail as to who did what. But if you read a story, you can conclude for yourself. Because when you are writing these kind of sensitive books, you got to be very careful not to start naming people who did not do what. And if you're going to name the person, have a proof. All right? So I was very careful. It was good you asked that question. I was very careful not to detail the 6 warlords. You will see them, but I did not emphasize that. Because when you try to emphasize certain portions, you become biased. So it's an open book for young Liberians who were not here at the time when the war started. Like I started by saying, 30 to 40 years from now, AI might have removed most of the information from YouTube. So it better we make use of it and put it on the shelf. I saw Mrs. Hayes.
Thank you, Dr. Keykpo, for this book, and I must say congratulations. My name is Marie Hayes. I'm also a graduate of this institution. My question to you is that there have been several books written related to the Civil War in Liberia. What is the uniqueness of your book?
Very good question. And that question goes to the arrangement of the child who saw the Civil War. The story is written in a way that it is unique in the sense that it's not just a history book. You throw what happened in 1947, what happened in 1948. No. It is organized chronologically by the character. And it will give you stages. That's what makes it unique. The lady who helped the organization of that book say, if you don't even want to read a book, just look at the arrangement of the pictures. It will tell you exactly how the story went on. So the uniqueness is the arrangement. It's not just throwing information all over the place. Oh, Pastor.
Again, Dr. Keykpo, I want to say congratulations for this great work. My question is, have you met stakeholders in Liberia, for example? There are several recommendations that you have given, especially that there should be electoral colleges in the various counties. So have you gone across to stakeholders to bring out this, or is it just within a book?
Well, this would have been a very good avenue for the stakeholders who are concerned about political activities to be here. But they are not here. And my intention for writing this book is not for a political stakeholder to come and show his win. It is for us, we local people, to know what happened to us and what needs to be done to improve our condition. If we have an electoral college, some of them will buy the book and they will read it. And they will hear that the people suggested that Liberia political system should have a reform in the electoral process. Because you can't have millions of young people. Some of them just ride motorbike, which is not bad. But time for election, we should be able to make sound decisions based on information. If I'm riding from here to Sally in Tapeta, how the best candidate? Or he's going to give me one bag of rag and a case of fish. So we need to have older people who are knowledgeable about the political system to decide for their county who should be president. I know too many politicians will not like Dr. Keykpo for that, but I'm not here for a beauty contest.
And then my suggestion to you would be that you kindly take advantage of the larger audience that is through the media, and that will help to sell the book.
All right. Well, when it comes to a larger audience in selling this book is being sold in America, $100 a copy by Amazon. Then you go to Barnes and Noble, and they sell it for $95 a copy. And I said from the onset, the purpose of this book is not to make money. I want to bring information to the next generation that they will take to the next generation. So I'm not seeking a larger audience to buy the book. No. I'm so happy that you people have filled the hall. So the issue of getting to the political decision maker, that I will do in due course. But I have to show you people, we the ordinary people, the masses, right? Don't move them. See the book. Any other question?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dad.
Your
Once
second
again,
question.
thank you for the effort.
Name again?
Jeffrey Sumo,
Okay. Which program you belong to?
the economics department. I'm a student.
Okay, that's my area, economics. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. So, as a researcher, you find a gap between the problem and the solution, and at the end of the day, you make policy recommendation.
Good.
After going through this,
Make it short now.
after going through this research, have you come up with a policy recommendation that is workable in Liberia?
Surely. I think I said it when I was talking, introducing the book, I said there's a chapter called The Way Forward, right? And in our way forward, there are some suggestions made about our educational system So we need to revisit that. All right? And then I talked about the issue of the lack of foreign investment in Liberia. And that was discussed in detail. And the suggestion is we have to be honest. If we have government officials who are responsible for bringing in foreign investors and they want kickback, and the kickback is given, and our project is not completed, those people should be thrown in jail after investigation. But where is the investigative arm? Economics. There has to be demand and supply. I don't want to go into the detail of what is the difference between increase in quantity demand and increase in demand. I don't want to put you to that test. Any other question? Be free. It's an open forum. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I have two quick questions. One is, do you have any intention of ensuring that through the Ministry of Education, the book is taught in Liberian schools, especially when you say, for the next generation, especially those that did not see the war, so that, it go there. And secondly, you said it is not for money making. So what method will you use to have a distributor?
Oh, the distribution will be here at a minimum rate. This book is sold for $100. I brought it to Liberia. I said, if you want a copy for your own pleasure, it's $50. But it's not done purposely to market a volume of information. The Ministry of Education and myself will have a meeting. They can review this book. The Deputy Minister for Planning, that's my student. He can sit with me and we look at this book and say, yeah, that certain areas in this book can be used in our school system. Especially when I was talking about the elementary process up to 6th grade and the way we were brought up. And we went through step by step. We took national exam in 6th grade. We took national exam in 9th grade. We took national exam in 12th grade. That is a system that was in place in the 60s and onward, and you are a product of that. So it prepares you. By the time you graduate from high school, you can compose, you can paragraph connectivity. I talk about all of that in the book. The Ministry of Education and I, especially those who are in charge of the classroom activity and how we present information to our students, we can sit down and say, oh, yeah, this chapter is good for us. And then I also talk about the issue of corruption in classes. When teachers start giving Nathan, and then they tell the student, well, you didn't pass, bring $50. That kind of stuff we need to stop. All right? So there's a lot of work we can do on our present system. But are we willing? Because in Liberia, when you bring new ideas, they say, oh, you want to take our job. Some of us are not looking for a ministerial job, but we want to help people like you to start thinking ahead. Liberia will not remain like this. Any other question? All right. Who's that, Eric? Oh, Joe?
Yes, good morning, Dad.
Thank you for being on time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being on time.
Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Keykpo. My name is Dr. Johnson T.K. Hine, and I joined faculty at the Graduate School of Education. Dad, thank you for what you've done, and the book looks so good looking at the cover. But I have two things I want you to really share with us today. First, at what time in your career or in your life did you conceive the idea of writing such an important book?
Oh,
One.
wow.
Secondly,
That's the first question, right?
yes, the second one, given that we have young people here, including myself, who's an early career professional, what message can you give us from this book as a takeaway for us going forward? Thank
Good.
you.
You see, when you are going to school, for me now, from ABC to 12th grade, I never talked about writing a book. But when a PhD, and you are a sound PhD, you should be able to write a book like that. Not a pamphlet. So, your question is, what is in it for you, right? For us, the information in there is diverse. Those of you from interior biking or native biking, the struggle some of you go through to there. So when you read it, I can relate to this. Those who went to prestigious school in Liberia and the social stratification and the division among the students, it's there. So everything was not honey and milk. I would use my school, for example, Cottington. Before the Civil War, University College was a class college. Because for indigenous students to go to Cottington. And even if you got lucky to get a scholarship, boys from Monrovia will tell you, what are you doing here? Go to the University of Liberia, there where you belong. That's a social stratification that was implanted in the bigger pictures of the government. That certain people are supposed to go to certain school, and when you come from there, you work, and when you go to the University of Liberia and graduate, your shoe heel finish, and you can't find job. Those things happen. So you got to be aware of that. And when you know that these things happen, then you start planning solutions. How can we not do this again? You're welcome. Mrs. Hayes.
They say charity begins at home.
Yes, ma'am.
You are with the graduate program at the University of Liberia. I remember sometime the late Samuel Keykpo was saying, we got a lot of PhD people, but they don't write book to teach our children. Instead, they want to be involved in politics. You have just said that you are not interested in ministerial position. My relating to charity begin at home, here comes the question. What meeting have you had with your own program, or perhaps the undergraduate program at the University of Liberia, in the revision of its curriculum to include some of what you have in this book, so that the young people that you want to bring this message to are educated?
Good question. I think the comment that of us are not interested in ministerial position were perceived on my own perception that expectation is the foundation for frustration. You can write that down. Expectation is the foundation for frustration. So if you don't expect anything, you don't get frustrated. And you know the political system in this country is not just going by meritocracy. And those of us from the interior who ain't know any government official, we don't expect anything. We just do our work for the people. All right? And then with regards to information that could be used in our curriculum, I just mentioned the deputy director for planning. And I said, that's my graduate. I can call him to my office. I said, let's go through the book. What do you think we can use at the lower level, especially from the elementary section, where I talk about the kind of books we use and the messages in those books, especially first grade, second grade, third grade. Those things are necessary for us to revisit our previous curriculum for improvement in our school system. Any other question? Oh, she talked about being a director of the graduate school in education, administration, and supervision, which I have been for 12 years here. When you politicize education, then things become difficult to happen. We need to take politics out of the school so that those of us who want to work freely can work. So curriculum development can take place, but the politics as to why should you be the one? Why should this person be the one? A very good example is the PhD program we're launching. Dr. Kana and myself, we did a lot of groundwork. When President Joseph Boyka was coming here for us to launch the PhD program, do you know what they did? They don't even want to put Dr. Keykpo's name on the program. They don't want to put Dr. Kana's name on the program. He was so angry. So when you talk about doing the grassroots work for the betterment of the nation, you got to take politics out. Everybody wanted the president to see them, but they didn't even know how we compile the curriculum. So we are the silent heroes.
Okay, I'm student Abenigo Newton.
Yeah, call it.
I am student Abenigo Newton from the Public Administration Department.
Good.
I want to applaud you for the book writing. I think it will give some of us the information to read about what you are writing in the book.
Good.
But what I want to say this morning is that on the book there, I seen a child that was gone. And it's all about the Civil War that fought. And since the war ended, it's about 20 years now. So I want to know from you why you didn't write the books at the early time when the war ended so that they can inform us what transpires 20 years ago and why now you are writing it.
Fine. I think if I understood your question is, why is the title with a kid and a gun, right? Well, if you are doing research, everything concerning that research is contingent on your topic. If your topic is the child who saw something, who photo is supposed to be there? Aha. So it's not anything particular about any particular child. But your thesis and the writing of the book should agree with the topic. Because writing is not yet jumping from here to here. You got to organize it. All right? So that's why we use a child who are in Monrovia here with gun so that you will know. And it's also to attract your mind to know what is in the book. Any other question?
His question that was why you didn't write the book earlier than now.
Okay. I think somebody mentioned that most Liberian PhDs don't write books. The time the war was going on, I have escaped death. So I was preparing myself to write this book. That's why I didn't write it when I was in school. Welcome, Dr. Monglu. Well, you know, some it's all right, right? It's all right. In fact, you are the chief launcher, so why you want to go sit there? Well, Dr. Keykpo is a different guy. We contacted some personality to be the launcher, and he's one of those. And it's nothing special. I like the gathering here because these are the people the book was written for students. They're not for politicians, but they can buy one copy and put it on their arm and start reading it. They say, yeah, that guy meant something. So welcome, Dr. Monroe, president of the university, or Nimba University. He's the president. Any other question? Yeah.
Thank you, Romeo Chokon Juiwe. That I want to applaud you for your effort made so far. But my question here is, what becomes of some of us who is not financially capacitated or have deep interest in having the identical book?
Okay. You are not financially strong enough to get a copy, is it? Oh, it's not much, that's $50. If you were in America and you and you went to Amazon, and Amazon got it $100 US, and you said, "No, I don't want to buy it from Amazon." Then you go to the other one. What's the other big Barnes and Noble? You go there and Barnes and Noble say, "Look, the content of this book, we can't sell it for anything less than $95 US." He said, "Damn, I think I got to go to Liberia and buy one copy." I'm just joking. But those are the people, and the publisher of this book are the one marketing the book. Even in China and in other European countries, everything they do with my book, they send me the information. Okay? So we will pray that you get a job so you can buy one copy. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, one of my students. Where are you working now? Ministry of Education?
Sure.
Good. I prepare a whole lot of educators.
Thank you very much, Dr. John Gibson Keykpo. Okay, let me first extend my thanks and appreciation for such an intellectual piece. Okay, so my name is Amos Kane. I'm also an adjunct faculty at the University of Liberia too, within the Department of Liberian Studies, formerly the Social Science Department. Okay, so you have written a piece, and then I come from the background where I want to know what it takes to write a book in Liberia, because what we see is that you have a 12 years experience working at the university, and then you have come up with a piece. So yeah, it's difficult to see a young Liberian student, even an instructor, coming up with such a piece without referencing it being produced or published either in the US or so. For some of us who don't have the means to do it in the US,
okay,
so I want to know as to whether...
Give your question now what we're doing.
Yeah.
We don't extend the question like
that. The question now is it possible for young or emerging Liberian intellectuals who are interested in writing book of such to have this done?
Thank you.
Right
Thank
here?
you. The question you ask is where the character S.J. Wopier, you need to read his lifestyle. Besides reading the historical analysis, read the pattern of the character. It represents an indigenous child who was pursuing higher education. If you went through that and see the struggle, if you're from a big family, you get African son, you people are many in the family and you're the only one going to the University of Liberia, One old lady sitting in the back say, can I go that far when my son is here? They try to bring you down. So when you read it, and you read the life pattern of F.J. Wopier, then you will get a solution to read this kind of book. That's why I mentioned earlier that the readers have choices. Some readers will want to read just the historical factor. When Liberia was established, what happened in 1920, who went to Fernando Po, and why, all of that is in there. But as an indigenous child, male or female, what is the struggle that you go through to acquire education in Liberia? It's in there. So if you want to read the life story of S.J. Wopier, then you read that. And if you are interested in how the Civil War started and who were the financiers that financed the process up to where we are now, then you go into the historical section and start reading. And what I did is I got some pages that are listed if you want just to read a historical account. Okay. Okay. Yeah, come closer now. I'm checking the time. We got 15 more minutes, right?
Thank you so much, Dad. I'm Clechi Emmanuel, student of economics. So my question is there any soft copy available on any website to download since the finance is not available to purchase one?
Say that again.
Go ahead with the question
Yes,
again.
I said,
Take your time.
is there any soft copy available on any website to download?
Okay, I will ask you to go to Amazon on Google. There's a whole soft copy there. Or you go to Barnes and Noble. There's a whole, if you can't speak Chinese, there's a whole section that they printed it in Chinese. That one, and I'm on business.
Okay, Da.
Yeah.
I'm Ms. Lusuketi Bernard, Outreach Coordinator, Kofi Annan Institute. I would love to appreciate you for your hard work and say thank you because this is very educative. And our children and we who were small will be able to read and know, and I think it will educate the young people to know where we came from and where we are heading, and that they will be able to position themselves and think forward. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Nobody said it better than that. The purpose is to pass it down to our children. So I think, Potoko, I have to ask my colleague, who I just made my luncher, to make some comment. This is my childhood friend.
Sir, you are welcome to the podium. You can come over.
He's Dr. Jesse Mongrel, PhD.
Good morning to all. I want to first of all thank you for coming to support Dr. Keykpo's work. I very much appreciate all of you who have come. I know it should be more than this, but that's okay. Maybe some people are still coming. But I'm Dr. Mongrel, Nema University president, also a very, very close friend. Very, very close from the U.S. My children godparent, Mrs. Keykpo. I mean, the history goes long than that. When he was doing his PhD, I had not even started my PhD. I was doing my second master at the time. He kept behind me. Let's go. I said, no, I'm not doing PhD, man. I'm not doing PhD. But then when the anxiety and intensity got to me in 2013, I took off. That's how it is in life. Sometimes you don't see revelation, you know. And I follow my friend and brother, because he's a big brother as well. So I appreciate Dr. Keykpo, because as a chief launcher, I got envelope for you. For you and Mrs.
Yeah, give it to Mrs. Keykpo there. She will hold it lunch money. Somebody there.
So I just want to encourage us to support one another. Nobody else will do it. Can you hear me? It ain't gonna be Ghanaian or Ugandan. We will have to do it. And those of you at the University of Liberia, thank you. Those of you who made it to come this morning, thank you so much for supporting Dr. Keykpo. Dr. Keykpo, my knowledge about him is better, at least I say it. He's an educator, a family man, a well-seasoned Liberian who cares for this country. This man had no reason even coming to Liberia. He's very, very valuable assets, not only in Liberia. When he got to a PhD, he does among white people. I went to the program. He does the PhD program that year. So I saw it, and I'm one of the witnesses of what he has acquired and who he is and what he has done. So he's one of us, and we have to appreciate one another when we work. It's hard to write books. I've written 3 books already. The third one coming, of course, Sending Code, The Origin of African Unity. My first book is Liberia, America Footprint. Second one was Working in Africa. These books are already been certified and used in school. So I know how hard it is to write a book. This is a very fine book, and I encourage every one of you who can afford it to get a copy. I'm going to get one because I already paid for one. Yeah. So let's appreciate, let's support one another. Ain't going to be nobody else. 3 years ago, I was here in this auditorium when a Nigerian professor came here to do a research. And this is what we're talking about. In the academy, we're not much there. So we got to work hard. Those of you who are professors here, we have to do our best to take Liberia to the next level. And I know that the Mapai, who is a good friend of mine, will support what I'm saying. She's working really hard. She's very cute. And the direction you want to take the university too. So let's support one another. Dr. Keykpo, again, congratulations for this hard work, Mrs. Keykpo, both of you, for this job that you have done. And then my copy, of course, I learned from all of the work that you know is loaded with facts, with history, and all the things that we need to know about Liberia, and even his own personal life, where God took him from, all of that stuff. That's what is included in this book. So it's a good book. I encourage you to read it if you can. It's a good reader. It's a good readership. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. We'd like to recognize Dr. Reed. You are welcome, Reverend. And we will ask that you walk to the podium and make a statement.
Read or read?
Dr. Reed first.
Okay.
Dr. Reed first, then Dr. Red next.
Thank you very much. My name is Reverend Dr. Nicias F. Reeves, a friend of Dr. Keykpo and his wife Susie. I came to know them through Mr. and Mrs. Marie Hayes. I did my PhD in pastoral care and counseling. Fortunately, when I read the biography of Dr. Keykpo, his master's is in psychology and counseling. So we have similar area. I remember when I was doing my dissertation to defend, he was in the US, and we had conversation together, we talked together. And I want to encourage us. There is a culture in our society that we need to break. Hopefully by next month, I will be launching my book. It's called God's Promise in Jesus for Us and Our Neighbors. It is not only about Christianity, but it's about how do we see society, how do we see the next person who sits by us, how do we work. That will be my second book I will be launching. Of course, it's on all the international platforms. One of the brothers asked a question, how do you in Liberia with our resources write and launch your book? Unfortunately, we don't have publication centers in Liberia that have the capacity to give you the leverage you need to launch your book to be accepted around the world. I've been at many launching programs. We don't have any publication center with an international standard book number. I remember when Sis Marie did her book and I had a copy in the library at Luther Seminary in Minnesota. The guy who was one of our editors walked to me and I showed him the book. The first thing he asked, does this book has an international standard book number? I said, absolutely. If it doesn't have it, nobody respects it around the world. Nobody accepts it around the world. And writing, like was said here, is quite challenging because you are not just going to get an AR products to give people. You want to bring out something from within you that you can sell to other people. Writing is a form of teaching. You stay pass on knowledge. And when you get through, You go to publication centers, they're not going to sympathize with you that you have written. If you are not very careful, you do the right thing, they get the money. So we have to change this culture in our society where we want to get everything free. We want to go online and download free. You will have soft copy, it will not be free. The Kindred copy is going to be less expensive, but it will not be free. And the Kindred copy is not going to stay with you forever. That's the reason you need a hard copy. Because a Kindred copy you could download in your phone, you could download on your iPad or on your computer. It will take you for a few years and it will be off because it is not intended to stay with you forever. You need a hard copy that you can always look at and refer to and work with. So I want to say congratulations to Dr. Keykpo. Officially, I was not invited, but I saw it on Facebook. And since we are always together, we always have conversation. The gossip you and I is that my wife is not always happy when you and I are together. She prefers that Susie be there or Sis Marie should be there. Because the temptation to avoid social conversation and just book bothers her. So immediately we are together, she will say, let me find Susie or Sis Marie because these people, no socializing. And then recently somebody wrote me, we're doing a project and we gave an approval and I went back and changed. And they said all PhD holders are permanently hair damaged people. That's the meaning that they gave to PhD. Their hairs are permanently damaged. And so we want to encourage all of us as we research and we write. The best thing we can do, when I was in St. Patrick High School, everything I ever did was through books. We bought books. So we used to travel with suitcases to school. And if you get a book, you have done an investment, not only for yourself, but for the generation after you. So let's graduate from this, going online, downloading pamphlets, giving you the information. Some of the information are not substantiated online because you have to trace who did it. You have to do a research work. If you follow me on my Facebook page on every Wednesday, I've done a lot of research in areas that he has worked through amongst the Zogos in Liberia. And we have a program called Beneath the Surface to understand what is happening under their skins and how we can transform our society. So let's invest in knowledge, not just what they tell us in the classroom, but what we discover in the materials. And so my wife and I will be getting copies and we have come to support you and to support what you are doing. Congratulations. And congratulations, according to what you said on Facebook, your white lady, for standing by you. Thank you for coming. And we're here to support you.
Thank you, Dr. Now we welcome to the podium Dr. Joseph, Reverend Dr. Joseph M. Red Senior, for a brief remark.
Thank you. I'm one of those, I can say that I'm very blessed to have Dr. Keykpo sit under us to be able to preach to him. I told him one time, I said, you always remind me about my father, because prior to the war, my father was here at the University of Liberia. He was the dean of the Science College. And I'm one of those that decided to follow his pattern. And today we stand here that people are proud of us whenever we are in the classroom. Dr. Keykpo, again, on behalf of the church, we want to say we are with you. We are standing with you. And like I told you 2 Sundays ago, we are very proud of you. I wish we had 10 of Dr. Keykpo currently in Liberia. A lot of impact will be made to the generation that we have today. Again, we want to say congratulations. We're going to take 2 of the books and we're going to support your endeavor.
We are making progress. Thanks, Dr. Red, Reverend Dr. Red. We are going to invite to the podium Dr. Charles Wally for brief remarks. Can you give me a hand clap, please?
All right. I think that clap was for Dr. Keykpo, so please do it better for him. Well, so much to say, but first of all, I'm deeply honored and highly privileged to be witnessing this very historic and remarkable event. We may see it at that, but this is writing history for generations yet unborn that will be able to unearth that history that is being written. Personally, as an author, I know the power of a book and how that transforms and what that does to generation. But before going there, I want to use this medium to really thank Dr. Keykpo, our author, for his belief, not just in his peers, adults, but his fervent, deep belief in the young people of Liberia. He's one person that is always looking for opportunities to have young, determined, promising people who will also be nurtured, raised in a way to continue the work process. I am a living testimony of that because I remember almost 7 years ago when I came from school very young and looking for an area to contribute. I had the privilege of meeting Dr. Keykpo, and I'm not just saying this because we're having a book launch for him, but anyone who meets him, you will know that he's truly a person who wants the best for young people. So we had that conversation, and then he said, Dr. Goli, the space is here. We're giving you the opportunity. Come and prove yourself, show yourself. And that encouragement was a very great deal. And it's somebody who always told you that when you were given a chance, produce the results. Just do the best that you can do to be able to make a mark. So in this public manner, Dr. Keykpo, for what you've done for me and many other young people, including Dr. Hine, who sits on the side there, I want us to put our hands together for believing in us young people. And, the society continues with the young, and that plays a very important role for a generation to be maintained, and he plays that role so well. He's never threatening. I work in some places, and you have some bosses who would think that if we bring a young person with a lot of energy, that person is about to take your job. He said, no, the work must be done, and all of us can do it. So Dr. Keykpo, thank you so much for all your support, for what you have done for the graduate program in education, for sacrificing your international assignment and other things, and responding to the Creator's call to come back home and make a great contribution. We are very grateful. Now coming to the book. A book, I can't describe its importance in words. It's so essential. In 2018 to be exact, I started to reflect on my life, and I saw that a lot had happened, even though it was just a little over 30 years, 31 years of existence, completing my doctoral program. So when I look at it, I say I need to put some things together so others will be able to, follow the path. And that route led me to writing, and I've been able to come up with some materials some of you may have seen. So a book is not just a piece of documents. A book is something that transforms, that speaks for generation. So what Dr. Keykpo had done through this material, you and I, the next 100 years, the next 150 years, this will always be around, and it will speak to that. So Dr. Keykpo your physical investment in young people and what you continue to do. This is another clear demonstration that indeed you mean well for us, you mean well for the generation, and we are here to support you. Thank you for what you have done. We look forward to more as the Creator will give you strength. Thank you once again, and I pray that all of us can get a copy and read it for ourselves. Thank you.
You are more welcome. Now we have our next program, which is the Climate Change and Biodiversity Program. You can understand that the guests are stepping in. So we'll call on Dr. Francis Maria, Prof. Francis Maria, to do the last remarks briefly, and then Mrs. Keykpo will do the vote of thanks, and we all purchase our book and depart from here.
Thank you very much. I'm not a doctor. I'm Dr. Imeki. And so I'm a professor. I like to make that clarity. But let me say this. If you are educated and you don't leave anything behind so that it can be your legacy, just remember that you will die with your knowledge. And that's the wrong thing to do. If you're educated, you should please make sure that you leave behind something that you will be remembered for. And not only Dr. Keykpo, but we have a lot of brilliant Liberians who are investing in writing their experiences. And these are very good, mark of educated people. And so we should be able to stand up for this cause. Now you just heard one of our speakers saying that you even have nowhere here that you can straightly move, to if you have something on your mind and you want the public to know in terms of writing, there's no way you can go and say, look, I'm here today, I got a piece of script, I want to make it as a book. Nowhere here. Why? Why we should have a lot of educated people who want to invest in education, who want to leave legacy, so that the children unborn, the generation coming, will know that they existed and they wrote and they had a capacity, and we don't have the opportunity, we don't have the capacity in our country, that we can showcase ourselves. So we should stand up for that. Those are things that we who say we are educated, or we who say we want to leave legacy in education, we should stand up for it. So I'm very serious about it. It's disappointing that Liberia, as we are going, is not. So Dr. Keykpo, bravo, my appreciation. You've done very, very well. I have not read this book, but the fact that I saw the photo of a young man standing with a gun in his hand, it clicked to my mind that it was speaking to the future generation and those of us that are living. My appreciation, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Maria. We're now welcome on this podium Mrs. Keykpo to give us the vote of thanks, and then we'll be ushering in the next program. Thanks.
Good afternoon. The child who saw the Liberian Civil War, a dream that came to pass. I want to congratulate Dr. Keykpo on his book. This book took over 5 years, right, honey? Over 5 years. And every time I saw him writing this book, my question to him is, when will this book be completed? He said, honey, I'm not writing a pamphlet. I'm writing a book, 376 pages book. We thank God that the book is completed. It has been launched. And everybody will try to get a copy. For those who say they cannot afford it, the book will be around. Even after Dr. Keykpo, the book will be around, and you will afford it one day. We thank God we have some steady, reform-minded individuals in our country, like Dr. Keykpo, like Dr. Mongrel, Sis Marie Hayes, Dr. Boley, Dr. Hine. There's so many of them. So Liberia has academicians to boast about. And we thank God Dr. Keykpo is leaving his legacy behind. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you to those who came for the launching. When they started, I was like, okay, this is a 5-man launch, launching program. And then later on, we saw the chairs, almost every chair in here being occupied. We want to say a big thank you to the protocol. My husband believes in the University of Liberia, because when he talked about launching this book, I said, honey, should we rent the city hall or something so you can launch your book? Because it has taken you over 5 years. I think it needs a massive launching. He said, just leave my book alone. My protocol and my people at the University of Liberia will take care of this. So protocol and team, I applaud you. Thank you very much. With regards to Dr. Keykpo reaching stakeholders, he tried to reach out to the vice president. He tried to reach out to other stakeholders that he believes supposed to be here. But apparently the connection or the channel through which he used was a little bit slow, or it didn't get there. But however, the book is here. Eventually, I'm sure it will get to them and they will get a copy. And for him, the major stakeholders that he has always talked about when it comes to education are those who are here today, the students, the University of Liberia students, the Cotton University, other students around the world, in Liberia and around the world. Those are the students that he's concerned about. Those are his major stakeholders. I remember sometime when he comes from school, he said, I tell my student, you have to earn your degree. You are not going to get it. So I don't care how they see me to be difficult. We have to change this thing. We need a total reform academic institution. So thank you everybody for coming. And protocol, once again, thank you. We highly appreciate your presence. Bless.
Thanks a lot, Mrs. Keykpo. May we all rise as we ask Reverend Dr. Reeves to give us a short benediction as we usher in the next group.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you today for this occasion, the launch of this book, and what you have planted in it through your servant for the change of minds, that we can move forward with all that we need to do to bring transformation in our lives and in our society. Bless those who have come and bless those who will recreate the avenues for people to earn. Take us back safe and sound. Let your name be praised in Jesus' name. Amen.
And amen. Thanks, Dr. Keykpo, for your hard work. Yeah. If you are here for the bow, for the climate change program, please take your seat. Be seated. Be seated. Peter. Wait a minute.
Pages of how to
Yes.
How many would finish?